not your average beach. So here's a few tips that brand new players need to know when starting Death Stranding 2. If you missed the first game or it's maybe been a while, I've got you. An important thing to know is that you can quickly put your entire backpack down just by holding triangle. If you then equip your strand rope and use L2 to look at your backpack, you'll see a prompt to tie down cargo if the containers are stacked higher than your pack. That'll stretchy rope all that cargo together, making it more secure and less likely to explode off of you if you fall on your face or get attacked. Any subsequent packages you add to that stack after you've already tied it down will then automatically get secured as well. Something that could go easily missed during combat is the game's built-in block mechanic. All you need to do is hold down L2 or R2 with nothing in your hands, which lets you guard against melee attacks, reducing their impact. If you attack immediately after blocking, it seems to have a stronger stun effect on that follow-up. If you equip your strand and hold L2, timing a tap of R2 on an incoming melee attack can be used kind of like a parry or a counter. This is a simple way to set up aggroed enemies to be incapacitated with the strand. Some enemies will try to save and extract their downed allies if left alone for long enough, which is just cute to see them at least try. Before you enter any enemy outpost though, I do recommend getting in the habit of doing one of two things. Either entirely drop your backpack somewhere safe and out of the rain, or D-pad up to open the cargo management screen and select offload all cargo in Sam's backpack. That'll drop all containers but keep your backpack on. Being lightweight will open up more combat options and make it easier to stealth since your visibility will be lower. A big stack of Amazon packages tends to raise attention. Bro, it's just bulk floss, cheap phone cases, and the last second gift I forgot to get your mom. Chill. Sprinting while light enough lets you jump and press R1 to mid-air body slam enemies, which can be followed up with a kick on the ground to knock them out. If you're really lightweight and have high stamina, you can also sprint, jump, and press circle to do one of the most disrespectful dropkicks in all of gaming. This attack will instantly knock out most basic enemies. However, there's an alternate animation to this move that changes it to more of like a flying kick instead. This seems to depend on if you have your backpack equipped or not. Sprinting, jumping, and attacking with your pack on yields the beefy two-leg horizontal drop kick. If you don't have your backpack on, or maybe it's just tied to weight, that will instead do the flying kick alternative. Which disrespect do you prefer? If you hold L2 or R2 near a container that's on the ground, you'll hold it in your hands instead of stashing it in your pack. This is also a quick way to auto-switch weapons that you pick up from the ground. Just hold L2 or R2 when you pick it up and you'll see a D-pad prompt to insta-equip it. Also, when you hold containers in your hands, you can melee attack with circle to bash with the package itself, which is stronger than your basic punch. If you let go of L2 or R2 while you're in the mid-swing animation though, you can actually sling your package long distance. But if someone throws one at you instead, if you hold L2 or R2 while it's flying, you can actually catch it out of mid-air. The 37th option for combat, I guess, you can just shoot them. When traveling with a tall stack of packages on your back, instead of constantly having to press L2 or R2 to shift your weight around for balance, if you just hold L2 and R2 at the same time, this will enable auto alignment of your balance. A more simple way to travel across uneven terrain. It's also good to get in the habit of opening your cargo management screen and selecting auto arrange cargo after you've stacked a few more things on top. This will perfectly Tetris your cargo into place and optimize it to make you less top heavy. You can move fairly quickly too, even with a lot of weight, if you just press directly forward on the analog stick, no tilting to the side or moving the camera. This will make it so it's less likely that you need to shift your balance, keeping your momentum. But if you're traveling light enough, you can actually double jump out of a sprint to cross gaps, even jump rivers, stuff like that. A few hours in, you'll be able to craft a tri-cruiser bike, which will become your best friend early on. This is a faster way to get around, obviously, but this bike also has a few other bonuses, like being able to quick pick up containers without exiting the vehicle. You can also hold back on the left analog stick to do a wheelie, allowing for parcel delivery stees. There's actually useful applications for the wheelie though, since reducing your points of contact from 3 to 1 lets you balance on things like ladders. If it's not too steep, you can use this to get up to higher elevations. Just the wheelie by itself can also be used to get up onto stuff, and maybe with a bit more time you could probably figure out how to trials your way up to things even higher if you finagle the physics and timing around. The wheelie can even be used for safety, which is ironic, but doing one immediately shifts all the vehicle's weight onto the back wheel in case you need to last second save yourself from tipping forward off a cliff. If you tap D-pad right in a vehicle, this lets you drive while manually aiming your weapon, fire with R1. The wheelie mechanic yet again, use this to get a higher elevation or shoot over stuff. If you build or come across another player's generator, this will automatically recharge the battery of vehicles. If an enemy gets within range of a player's generator, pressing square on it will emit an electric bolt straight into the top of their head. They're fine, no void outs, they're just a little sleepy. Before you leave out of any shelter, make sure you drink these very much not Monster Energy drinks over here on the table. Consuming all of these will give you a 25% stamina buff when you head out. By the way, you can skip the Norman Reedus drink animations if you want to. It's up to you. I don't know what you're into. If you come to a complete stop and hold square, you can rest, which is a quick way to make an autosave. Sleeping will then change the time of day and leave behind a little grouping of rocks on the ground that other players can see and use to rest. Although you can only like this video once, mashing the like button as fast as you can in the game is a great way to give players a big pile of likes. Coming home with entirely used up or emptied items does still have some use, because you can recycle those things instead of leaving them on the ground. Found in the Weapon/Tools menu, you can equip your Willard and use it to fire from the hip. This chiral-infused liquid expulsion will actually leave behind a digital mushroom with tiny thumbs-up symbols speckled on the top. Other players will then see these in their world, and if they use their Willard on it, the mushroom will continue to grow and turn into a resource of those crunchy floating bugs. Some of the symbols and emojis that you and other players can place in the world actually have practical use, like the speed up sign boosting vehicle speed when passing through it. The "You got this" will restore some stamina if you pass through it. Stay warm will provide brief invulnerability to the cold, and don't let the heat get you down does the same against extremely high temperatures. There's others that actually give a temporary buff, but you can also just request specific gear from other players as well. Like here, seeing if anyone had a weapon to donate. Shout out to user Kono Murada, they came in under 5 minutes leaving me this classy LMG. And last, just something to be aware of. Things level up over time just by doing them, which also applies to individual combat styles. However, using the VR training program will let you summon enemies and actually use them to build up and farm these ranks if you want to. Experience is experience. Like here, my melee combat ranked up just from using the VR training for a few minutes. Okay, now if you never played Death Stranding 1, you should, but a lot of that stuff was a quick knowledge primer to catch you up to speed. Any other useful starter tips from maybe about the first half of the game, throw them down below, help out your fellow porters. Alright, as always, I'm Alex, and thanks for checking this out today. I'm traveling with no shoes, questions as always, boots right there on my bag, still I'm shoeless. I'm chiral network guy, fixing the modems, smoldering through my toes, I'll get there some way. Sorry, Wood Kid.